Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Nerd Den here, and oh my god, I've got another theory video. And yes, my review is happening today. I just want to get the theory video out of the way because it was something I wanted to talk about. And this is my last theory video regarding Series 12 at the moment. Until obviously, there's more episodes. But yeah, don't worry, that'll be in a week's time. But essentially, there's something I've wanted to talk about for a while, and there's more evidence possibly backing up my theory, and this is the potential death of Yasmin Khan. And yes, Yasmin Khan, who has been in the TARDIS gang since the start of Series 11, and she does currently still have the role of a police officer, even though it hasn't been fully fleshed out yet. That's one of my hates towards Series 11 and Series 12 at the moment, because it's like she hasn't had much character development, and it's kind of sad, to be honest, because there's potential to have some good stories from her, but we haven't had a lot, and I guess that's a disadvantage of having three companions, because it's hard to get a good balance between all of them. And I'd say the same for Ryan as well. But Ryan recently had some development in Orphan 55. Despite the whole Benny meme and everything like that, it was good to see him finally get some, some action and things. But yeah, it was really cool, and Tosin Cole smashed it. But yeah, Yasmin Khan. Anyway, we're getting back onto the subject. She may be dying this series, or potentially in Series 13, I don't know. But there's a lot of foreshadowings about this. There's a lot of things that just make you think, is Chibnall trying to hint at stuff here? And all of this started in part 1 of Spyfall. So, the creatures of the episode, the Crevalians, I could be completely pronouncing that wrong, or it might not even be the name of the creatures. They basically took her, and they placed her in that weird limbo world, and then she shortly returned inside the hut in Australia that turned out to be the Master's TARDIS. But there's one thing that really intrigued me about that. Those aliens were able to rewrite the DNA of Daniel Barton, that was Lenny Henry's character, so he was 7% of another species, and the rest of his DNA was human. So what happens if that's a virus? And Yasmin Khan went all the way to that limbo world, and what's to say that those aliens didn't do anything to her, infected her with the virus, or changed her DNA slightly, and then brought her back to the present? Now, if this has any truth behind it, I am thinking that the Judoon will detect it in episode 5, that is this week's episode, just because the Judoon are able to detect human and non-human DNA pretty well. I mean, they can detect traces and everything. So I do think that they are going to explore that. That would be really interesting. But I also think that she may be developing a relationship with Ryan, and that's just because with talks in Spyfall, Part 1, and even Series 11 as well, how they were pretty close. Obviously, they both knew each other from school, and Ryan looked up to Yaz. And I thought that was, pretty sweet. And then, in obviously Spyfall as well, Yaz refused to give Ryan his phone number, because apparently she wanted it and everything, yada yada. But, she refused. And I was like, okay, but why are you refusing? And then, in episode 3, that was Orphan 55, she seemed a little bit jealous, when Ryan was talking to the other girl. So, If it does end up being a relationship, or building up towards that, it would add a little bit more dynamic to both characters, and then it would develop Ryan's character even further if Yaz ends up getting killed or something like that. And I did notice as well that in Spyfall, the Master got very close to Yaz, and this was before he was revealed to actually be the Master. There was the whole Lucky in Love thing that was showed in the party, and it was like, oh, okay, they're getting pretty close. And then when obviously the Master blows up the plane, he says that Yaz should always stick with him because he's always in control. So there's a lot of things going towards that, and that kind of makes me believe that the Master will come back in this series. Like, if anything happens in the finale, I do think that it will involve the Master. And of course, we haven't seen what happened to Daniel Barton. He just wanted an extraction out of there after the press conference was diverted and there wasn't any danger to the people with their technology and phones and shit. So, long story short is that I think that potentially we could see, you know, the Master come back and kill Yaz. Like, that would also throw Jodie Whittaker's Doctor a whole lot further, because, I mean, Series 11, yeah, I didn't really click on with the Doctor straight away, but Series 12, I gotta say, I gotta give credit where credit's due. Chibnall has really pushed Jodie Whittaker to a limit, and, you know, Jodie Whittaker has brought her Doctor into a new light, at the same time making her Doctor a little bit darker, and I absolutely love that. And with the Gallifrey and the Timeless Child storylines developing, it would be awesome to see this carried forward. And then, of course, the Master, if he kills a companion, that he has technically done before with Bill, and a companion's death would get a lot of people talking, that would, you know, get the show a little bit more hyped up. But then, wouldn't that create a new dynamic for the Doctor and the Master's friendship or rivalry or whatever you want to call it? So, yeah, there's a lot going on that, and I'm really excited. I can't say it enough to see how this series develops. And, you know, it could be Ryan that gets killed, or Graham. Like, you know, there's evidence for all of them leaving, really. Like, you know, I might do a video talking about a potential Bradley Walsh's character, Graham, leaving. Like, you know, there's a lot going, but I think out of the two, like, when I first watched the trailer, and obviously I did my theory video initially yesterday, and I was talking about, oh, yeah, Ryan could leave. That, you know, still could happen, because in the trailer he's questioning about being in the TARDIS, but Yaz's facial expressions are kind of just like, just a little bit down. So, you never know. You never know. Like, I could be looking way too deep into this, but it's exciting to be theorising about Doctor Who again. Like, there's so much potential for this series, and I'm really excited. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Leave a comment down below what you think of this theory, and I'll see you all on my next video. Bye for now.